Hey guys, I'm just out on the first trial run with my new Lauf Carbonara on my RSD Mayor. I really love it. It's an awesome fork. So I decided to make this video to provide some tips on how to install it, because I found there wasn't very good resources online for this, and there were a couple little things I ran into installing it that weren't 100% obvious at first. So I figured maybe other people would have the same, well, not issues, but just the same confusion. So there's three things really that I ran into when installing this fork that are not totally obvious. The first one is this fork doesn't have it. You don't have to press on a steel bearing race like most forks. The race is molded right into the carbon, and you'll find in the box there's a steel bearing that comes with it. So all you got to do is put that bearing, with the 45-degree angle down onto the carbon race, put the fork into, like a standard, I guess it's a 4 mil lower headset cup, and you're off to the races. So, if you get the fork and you think, like, how would I ever press a bearing race onto this? Well, you don't have to. So that's the first thing that may not be 100% obvious. It wasn't for me. So the second thing is the brakes. Most forks and most frames need an adapter to put the caliper on, whereas this one, actually, this fork, if you're using a 180mm rotor, which I am, the caliper just bolts directly onto it. So you can see there's no adapter. So you just have to get the right length bolts. Just figure out exactly the right length to get enough thread insertion, not too long, not too short. And that's it. So it's nice, clean install with a 180mm rotor. I imagine with something bigger than 180, you'd need an adapter. You can't go any smaller than 180, so 180 is the minimum. So yeah, it's as simple as that. Nice, clean install. You see here, basically, you just put a little socket on this nut, and you can rotate where the hydraulic line comes in, so it's nice and clean. So you want to do that, keep it out of the way. Make sure it's long enough. So the only other thing that's not terribly obvious is this device that they provide to compress everything when you install the stem, the one that you pop into the steerer. It's a two-piece. So you got to realize that you got to pop it in, and then you put in a smaller Allen key down into it to have the thing expand and grab the tube, and then you put a bigger Allen key here, just a little bit, and turn this headset cap, and that actually is what compresses it. So you got to use two Allen keys and do it in those two steps. If you try to just pop the thing in and tighten the whole thing up at once, it won't work. I mean, that's common with modern bikes, but it's not so common if you're used to just working on older bikes. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, well, I guess other than that, Lauf suggests or requires you use a 5mm at least headset spacer to get an even compression. I have a 10mm. The reason I did that is because, well, I want the stem at that height without cutting it. Also, I like being able to pinch the stem onto the steerer, not too close to the top. I guess I'm just paranoid it'll maybe damage it. Probably won't. Maximum 30mm of spacers, and that's what I have because I'm really tall. I guess the only other thing, when you put the fork on, you might notice that there's a gap. I need to get new gloves. Here, and think, oh, it's not on all the way. But no, that's how it should be. It should be about like a mil or two of a gap. All right, so that's it. The Lauf Carbonara installation tips. I hope this was helpful for someone. Now back to riding.